Right then, back on the bank, and we are back up in the Cotswolds on one of these South Sunday Angling Club tickets. Waters, this is Ham Pool. I fished it a couple of times, mainly doing this sort of thing, turned up late, just doing like an overnighter basically. I've actually got pretty much most of tomorrow if I do want to stay on and have a little mooch around and see what I can do, but I worked till 11 PM. I then had a social football match with some guys in work, which we had booked, and we tend to do it nearly every week now. So I stuck around for that. So I didn't probably get done till about 12:15, 20 past 12. By the time I had a shower and got sorted out, now I probably went on the road till about 1:45, 1:45. But yeah, I got here maybe 1:30, 1:45, something like that. There's a few guys scattered around the lake, so I just drove all the way around to the far side, far car park, and there's a lovely little swim, which is what I'm in. And I know it's produced quite a few fish in the past, so that's all I've got to go on really. It's just previous form. And all I've done is chucked out 2 solid bags filled with the DNA Cray mix, a couple of little S7 wafters, and I think one's pink, one's white, sort of standard setup really. And yeah, I flicked them out, got a little Sonos with me, so it didn't sort of take up too much room in that when I went to work. But yeah, it's a cold night, it's flat calm, but it is very chilly. It's definitely below freezing. As you can see, I'm pretty rugged up. But I've heard a couple of fish bosh, and I've actually recast one of the rods to where one of the fish boshed, as it was within my range of my swim. And I've had a few liners since, so I'm actually quite confident, which is why I haven't got in the bag yet and got some sleep. But definitely going to have to do that shortly. But anyway, there's not a lot else to tell you. That's sort of what's happening at the moment. But if something does happen, obviously I'll update you, or I'll update you anyway, whatever goes on. But hopefully we can nail one. It'd be nice. It's going to be my last session on here because I'm not renewing the ticket. It's gone up by about 50 quid, and I didn't really fish it enough last year. I probably did a handful of sessions, and I fished it more the year before, and I had quite a few fish out of wick. But I've not really done much time on Ham, but it's quite a deep lake. It probably wakes up a little bit later than a lot of places where it's so deep. But I mean, the fish I've seen roll could potentially be in mid-water, which wouldn't surprise me. But we'll see how we get on. I feel confident. There's definitely fish in the area, and I've been getting a few liners. So yes, it's all leading towards possibly getting a bite, but you never know, do you? So anyway, that's the update. Or probably see you in the morning once I've had a bit of sleep, and we'll see what we're going to do for the rest of the day. Until then, fingers crossed we can have one. Probably still a little bit too dark to see me, but look at that behind. Sun's coming up. Listen to that noise. Morning bird song. Can't beat that. Check it out. Lovely morning. It's going to be a nice sunny day looking at that. Anyway, I'm going to get my head down for a couple of hours. Right, afternoon. So, there's a swim. That's where I spent the night, by the rods. I literally could touch the rod butt with my hand while led in the bag. I slept right next to him. Fortunately, nothing happened. It's early afternoon now, and I've actually been doing a bit of stalking. There's been a big common, there's at least an upper 20, if not probably a low 30, cruising around in close. At one point in a swim to my left, it quite literally, you could have poked it with the rod top. I tried sneaking up on it, I had the GoPro with a chest mount on to try and, you know, if I caught it, it would have been some wicked footage. But unfortunately, it literally did one. As soon as I walked into the swim, it slowly drifted off to the right before I'd even tried casting at it. So it's ignoring the bait. One thing I'm going to do, I've reeled the rods in, and I'm going to pack everything down, chuck it back in the motor, and I'm going to go down to the local tackle shop, tackle den. I think I'm going to get myself some maggots hopefully, and maybe some worms. And I might go and get a better loaf of bread as well, because I've got some rolls and they're so dry they're just falling off the hook. I can't mould them very well, and I also can't use a floating bait because I've got to squeeze them on so hard it's making it sink. So I think what I'm going to do that, and then just literally park up and walk around with one rod a little bit of stalking kit, and to see if I can go and find an opportunity, because clearly in this sun the odd fish moving around. So I'll probably have a little go on here. I'll probably come back, see if I can find that fish again, and if not I might go over on Wick. There's bound to be some fish cruising around over on there, so I might be able to get a quick opportunity and maybe get one on the bank, because I think sit behind the rods at the moment isn't going to be the one. The fish are not actively feeding on the bottom, I don't think. And I think those fish I saw last night jump were probably in the upper layers. I had an 8-foot zig out all night, but I didn't have anything on that. But yeah, that's the plan. And I suppose I better stop talking about it and get it done. But right then, let's get this little bit of kit packed away, which is going to take me about 2 minutes, and then yeah, see if we can make something happen. After getting some extra supplies, I returned to the lake and started walking around, trying to locate some catchable fish. There were a few tree stumps left over from a recent tree cutting, so I used these to get some elevation. This meant I could look down through the water easier. I put on my Polaroids and just spent time looking for the carp. I saw a couple of nice sized fish following a mid-water path in the margins of one of the bays, which was devoid of anglers. This looked like my best chance, so I tied up a couple of zigs mid-depth and lowered them in, hoping for the best. So the rig in question, which I've mounted the zig on then, is just a standard leg clip. As you can see, that is a 1/4 leg clip there. And I've got one of the tapered tail rubbers. These stop the zig from tangling up as easy. They're quite loose as well, so it allows the lead to pop off. The lead is actually a heli lead, and the reason for that is there's less movement. Now, if you were fishing a straight bottom bait, you would want the movement there so that the rig sit properly. But on a zig, what this looks like on the bottom obviously doesn't really matter. It's the way that it reacts when a fish picks the bait up. So this means there's less movement, which means when a fish hits the zig, it's going to be in contact with it a lot quicker. Personally, I think it makes a bit of a difference, but it's just something I like to do. And I've got a long piece of silicone. That's just to help kick it away and stop it all getting tangled up. As you can see, the length of it next to the lead means that nothing's going to wrap around or get tangled up, and it just pushes it away. And yeah, keeps it all going out nice and tidy, ready for a fish. So the hook bait is just a zig liner from Fox in black. That's actually been soaking in some DNA sticky sweet, and then I've got it mounted on an ESP rigger hook. The main hook length material is actually some of the Fox floater line, and that's in 15 pounds, so it's nice and strong. Obviously when you're fishing for bigger fish, okay, it might stand out a little bit more, but once you hook one, you want to make sure that you get them in the net. So I always try and use as strong a hook length material as I can. And to nail that hook home, I've got a nice big 3-ounce lead there, and yeah, it's plenty of weight to nail that rig into the fish's mouth. It's a size 8, so it doesn't need too big of a lead to be able to pull it home. But 3-ounce, generally speaking, is probably the minimum lead I'd like to use nowadays, because I think you need a good bit of weight there to nail the rigs and hook the fish, because they get very wary, especially on these pressured venues. Not a care in the world. Bit of an update then. So we're still fishless, unfortunately. I'm having way too many blanks this year. I think it's just the venues I'm choosing. You know, I turned it up late today, to early hours. You know, I didn't didn't see fish as such, although I did end up hearing them once I got sorted. But I felt quite confident I was going to have one, to be honest, in the early hours. I was expecting to get woken up by a purring clutch, but unfortunately it didn't happen. I've had a little move around, done a little bit of stalking. I messed up one opportunity of a lovely common, which would have been a wicked fish. It was very close to 30, I think. It was a real good fish, but it just, 2 occasions that I had a chance, it just drifted off. It wasn't really interested. The bread I had wasn't very good. It was some rolls I picked up on the way up here last night. They were dry basically, and they kept falling apart. So yeah, bit annoying really, but that's just how it is, isn't it? So the temperature's dropping now. Light is starting to go, and I have to go to work shortly, or go home anyway and get sorted out for work. So hopefully we can have one before we go, but at the moment it's not looking great. But we'll see how we get on. With the sun setting behind the trees, the temperature started to fall. The chance of a bite drifted away. I left it an hour after dark, but I wasn't rewarded. Looks like it's time for work. If you get out, be lucky, tight lines, and I'll see you again soon.